What's going on, folks? This is CJ at 3 Black Geeks. I'm here live at Blerdcon with
Rob Van Blake.
So, Rob, how did you come about forming this whole thing?
I started off with the sci-fi series, Ancient Illumination, because I was reading a bunch of Star Wars novels, and then wanted to write something of my own because I felt like I could never own that. So, started with a what-if scenario. What if there were beings made of pure light? They come to Earth when we're still cavemen. How would that reaction be? And then kind of extrapolated out from that idea into what you see before you.
Was there always I guess with you doing the writing and stuff, was there always kind of like an ambition to do stuff for Star Trek, or was this just like, no, this is the natural progression, just doing this?
No, I was reading a lot of Star Wars, a lot of Lord of the Rings, Terry Goodkind, Sword of Shannara type stories, but I didn't want to play in someone else's playground. I wanted to start my own.
Sense. Yeah.
I was curious to see if I could write within the genres that I love. And then once I got beyond the curiosity of, you can actually write something, now let's start do something off your own. So that's what Ancient Illumination was. Nyumbani Chronicles is my fantasy series. I love Lord of the Rings, I love Game of Thrones, but we're not heavily featured in that. So I wanted something with the African gods that were featured. So the Orisha rule over Nyumbani. Nyumbani means home in Swahili. And I wanted to just do my own thing and have fun creating elves and dragons. I like dragons. I like things of that nature.
Who doesn't like dragons?
But I wanted to be featured. I want to have my own story to create within those type of worlds.
Was there any sort of hiccups that you might have had over the course of developing this?
With the writing, life. I think with creative things, people let life get in the way. So it took me the longest time to finish that first book. But once I finished that first book, it kind of snowballed. I gained momentum, was able to finish the second and third novel. And then when we were still in the lockdown, I switched over to fantasy and started Nyumbani Chronicles. That was published in 2021. We couldn't go nowhere. And then last March, we did Nyumbani Chronicles 2. So
we were talking to another creative about the pandemic, and he was mentioning how it did kind of spur on this big overflow of a lot of Black creatives.
Yeah.
So for you, what was that like just during that whole lockdown? Did it kind of spur on a lot of creativity, just kind of hitting?
Well, I want to take advantage of the time. Usually, we're too busy to do things, and when we have time, then I'm saying if I can't go nowhere, then it's best for me to at least be productive. So I wanted to keep writing. We finished the first book in 4 months.
Oh wow.
I had nowhere. I literally just locked myself in the office every day and wrote the book out until we got it done, and then sent it off to the editor and sent it off to the formatter after it got edited. Why not be productive if you can't go nowhere?
Might as well.
Yeah.
In terms of demographics of people that read it, does it skew a little bit on the older side of people coming, or is it kind of an all ages kind of thing?
More for young adult. You can have a kid read it if they're an advanced reader. I have to warn all the parents. We have violence in my books.
Oh, okay, all right.
We don't whoop a little ass, but we don't go into nobody's bedroom. So I like action in my stories. That's the number one component. I like action about the stories that I have. So
being at these kind of conventions, whether it's Awesome Con, this Blerdcon, and all that stuff, what has been the thing that you enjoyed about being at these conventions, especially with regards to what you're selling?
Man, just seeing us in our element, seeing us be who we are. Whether you're a geek, nerd, however you want to identify yourself and express that outwardly, it's been cool to see the various cosplay and other people that have been coming around in the costumes, and some people are making up their own characters, and maybe they're into their favorite anime or TV show or movie, they're expressing that. It's been really cool to see that and have people be comfortable doing that in this environment.
Yeah, when you were developing the characters for this book, what was kind of the thing that you kind of had? Did you have kind of a Bible of all right, I want this type of character, I want to have that type of character, or did it all just come in one day?
It just kind of came to me, and it's an amalgamation of my imagination mixed in with a little bit of history, mixed in with life experiences. Some of my characters may be a caricature of somebody that I met in real life. They just exaggerated those features or whatever that made them unique and eccentric. Exaggerate that, and it became a character, and then just kind of evolved from there. And then when I was in the military too, so I took a lot of that experience with
French.
Marine Corps.
Oh, Air Force.
There you go. So I mixed a lot of that into what I do. I created a challenge coin for a military unit that trains on Saturn in my books.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of what inspired that, because I was used to getting these challenge coins.
I got 5 of them.
Yeah, so it was one of the things we did as a fun kind of fundraiser for the graphic novel initially. So a lot of that stuff was just mixed in. I don't have an archetype that I wanted to make and just make that character. It just kind of evolve as the story evolved.
Do you feel this is like an untapped market for Black folks in terms of being in this kind of like genre of like sci-fi, fantasy, and that kind of?
Very much so, because there's few things that we can select. Like you can probably think on top of your head the names of the mainline Black creators because there's so few of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's very much so an untapped market. Because a lot of people think, you know, stereotypically people are like, oh, well, they're not into this type of thing. Well, yeah we are.
Oh, we are. Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
We very much are. It's just we're not provided with stories of our own a lot. We have to get stories given to us.
Yeah.
And people talk about representation, and my thing is, I push for everybody to have representation. I don't begrudge anybody that. I question who we request it from.
That's it.
So if a company has shown that they don't have a good track record of doing it after 80 to 100 something years of us producing TV and film and accounts and whatnot, and they haven't done it, then it's up to that demographic to do it themselves.
Yeah.
Stop relying on the main two to give us what we want.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you about that, because I felt the pandemic really kind of hit everybody's creative juices. It's just like all over. And I was just like, oh, this is like so much stuff, you know? But then you start realizing, oh, these people are already here. It was just so much other stuff happening, and, you know, so.
And a lot of people that were before didn't really give credit, like ashamedly, I think. Octavia Butler got credit only after she passed. Exactly. And now they're starting to do stuff with her stuff on TV and with Kindred and all. But why couldn't we produce that stuff while she was still here?
Yeah.
It's like we could, they just chose not to.
Lastly, do you feel like, going to what you were just saying, like, do you feel like you have an opportunity to take this and really make it, like, put this on, like, a YouTube or Amazon Prime?
Yes.
Easily?
Easily. Both series will be ready. It's just a matter of time. It's just time and opportunity. When I do what I can afford. So right now I've expanded from comics to books to comics and graphic novels.
Oh, yeah,
eventually we'll get to animation and live action as well. It's just, that's going to take time and money.
Oh, no, trust me.
But it's happening.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking time talking to us. I've always seen you at conventions. I need to get over there because it's just, so I appreciate you taking time talking to us.
Thank you. Appreciate
we'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.